films, because why shouldn't your ears be bored too?
Every year in America, there are more than 100,000 new cases of tuberculosis.
We did it!
Of all infectious diseases, tuberculosis is still the greatest killer.
Or your money back.
This film on tuberculosis presents aspects of its diagnosis, treatment, and control.
Now, they had to revise this movie twice after tuberculosis sued them for defamation. Esmond Long and C. Howard Marcy, hosts of the TB Boys podcast. Thunderbird? Terabyte? Throwback? Ty Burrell? What is it?
In spite of the progress of preventive medicine, in spite of public health programs on community, state, and national level, tuberculosis still attacks almost as many Americans today as 10 years ago.
That's the power of marketing.
Although the number of deaths from tuberculosis has been gradually falling off. Why?
Godzilla attacks skewing the data?
Thing, industrialization has spread faster than industrial health programs.
Because capitalism is soulless.
In some occupations, there remains the hazard of infection.
Your boss has classified you as expendable.
Poverty and ignorance, whether in backcountry or in city slums, contribute to the spread of tuberculosis.
So why don't they just move into mansions?
Ignorance or negligence, as in this case, or in this case.
Shadows cannot hurt you. Do not attack them.
And then there are wars, the greatest spreaders of tuberculosis.
Oh, sure, everything's war's fault.
The work of scientists alone cannot eliminate the deadly bacteria that cause tuberculosis. It takes community action.
You've got to wear ribbons and perform skits raising awareness.
In the city where Mary Smith attends high school, tuberculin tests are given to all pupils.
First one's free. We did it! We've perfected the man-made mosquito bite. Wow, days were short back
2
then.
days later, the results are checked. The tuberculin test shows that this apparently healthy boy is infected.
I always knew that guy was sus.
Mary's arm shows no reaction, however. Her test indicates that she has not been infected with tuberculosis.
Sorry, you'll have to try harder next time.
Soon afterwards, Mary's aunt comes to live with her. She seems run down and needs a rest. Actually, she has a well-advanced case of tuberculosis. Through sneezing, coughing, and direct touch, Mary may have been infected.
She seems really alarmed.
For several months, Mary has tired easily, and she's been losing weight steadily, and she coughs very often.
She started hanging out on tuberculosis message boards and retweeting tuberculosis fan art.
All this begins to worry her, and she finally decides to make an appointment with her physician.
She wants to infect him first. He knows what he did.
Mary's doctor soon detects signs that indicate tuberculosis. He suggests that she go to a tuberculosis clinic for further examination.
And billing.
She takes a sample of sputum to the clinic.
Sputum, fresh squeezed,
Then
homemade.
she's given another tuberculin test. Among other checkups, an X-ray picture of her lungs is made. X-rays are one of our best means of getting evidence when infection is present.
Yeah, you always want to add radiation into the mix.
The report of the clinic goes back to Mary's physician. He explains to Mary the findings of the clinic. Then he points out that X-rays show tuberculosis in her upper right lung.
That's not mine. I don't know how that got there.
The doctor tries not to alarm Mary. However, he makes it clear that she will have to submit to a long treatment.
A long, experimental,
A treatment that will
out-of-network
take her away
treatment.
from home to a tuberculosis hospital, where she will get proper medicine, proper food, rest, and possible surgery.
If you're good and do all your homework.
Under the care of nurses and doctors, Mary is undergoing the standard treatment.
Antibiotics in bed. A girl could get used to this.
She is being trained in sanitary procedures, like using coverings when she coughs and disposing of them into a receptacle which will be burned.
Go ahead and put any state secrets you've got in there as well.
Fortunately, Mary is able to take an adequate amount of nourishment.
I am not a robot.
Milk, citrus fruit juices, meat, potatoes, and vegetables.
Vegetables?
Proper food not only gives her the necessary body fuel, but materials which will heal the injured parts.
The greatest weapon against tuberculosis is starch.
Repair is a slow process, but proper medicine, good food, and rest will work wonders, even in the advanced stage of tuberculosis, as in the case of the ant.
But you'll never heal the trust issues.
A number of different surgical procedures can be used, either to help the lung rest or to remove the damaged portion of the lung. New drugs are constantly being developed to aid in the recovery of the patient.
Drugs, huh? Gimme. Why, yes, that is an enormous French press, but that's not important right now.
But even after the rest and building up of strength in the hospital, Mary passes through a long stage of convalescence at home.
She milks it for a month.
In an organized effort to help patients like Mary, public and private hospitals have been built all over the country.
Some with electricity and gravity.
Mobile units like this one for schools, for communities, or for large factories.
Woo! Party bus!
Regular checkups by a physician help discover infection before it spreads.
How do I know this isn't a hoax perpetrated by the
We have
godless
mobilized
Marxist
against
Democrats?
tuberculosis all the resources of modern science. We are constantly building better and more efficient tools. But only by checking an ever-increasing number of citizens, by going after tuberculosis before the disease spreads, can tuberculosis be conquered. Only if we fight it on a nationwide front can we achieve a lasting control over tuberculosis.
We shall fight it in the hospitals, we shall fight it on Sycamore Street, and we shall fight it in the strip mall over by the Bennigans. We shall never surrender, and we shall never improve our healthcare system. Thank you so much for watching Fun with Shorts. This series is supported by Patreon and patrons like these wonderful people right here. They get early access to new episodes and exclusive episodes every month. Also, check out the updated funwithshorts.com for DVDs and merch and all the good stuff. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you next time.